again to Marilyn Hawes. Interesting times, Marilyn, and
Mm.
no more interesting than the NHS keeps coming up. And lo and behold, not having dismembered people in a transgender cause, they're now saying to Pakistanis, oh, you're all right, you can marry your cousin.
Oh,
Never
I,
mind the future and what it's going to bring.
unbelievable. And first time cousins. I mean, hello, stand back and wait for disabled children and babies coming through the system. I mean, this is why, when you go abroad, and I saw it in Portugal, you will see the result of inbreeding.
Yes, indeed.
I can't believe that that is being discussed as even a possibility. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, and the history shows it's not right. You get you get the deformities, you get the problems, and that's going to be more on the NHS. I mean, the NHS has become so woke, it's ridiculous.
This is the reason for it. They've got to fill the diversity, inclusivity,
Well, there's diversity and there's downright stupidity, and
and
this.
yes, it should be called DIS and not yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, it is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, why would you go a backward step when it is proved that inbreeding causes trouble? I mean,
Well, there's a famous story which is true. The non-apocryphal part of it is that when Queen Victoria came and spent a lot of time on the Isle of Wight, she came across a place called Wroxall, which is just on the hilltop behind Ventnor in the deep south of the island. And it was, in one sense, cut off. And there was an awful lot of inbreeding there, and you could see it.
oh, you can, you
It was
can.
awful. And she'd had enough, and eventually got her soldiers over and asked them to water down the population.
Mm.
Couldn't do that these days, could you?
Well, no, I mean, when my sister, my sister is now 77, but when she was doing her teacher training all those years ago, when she was 20, her teacher training was on the Isle of Wight. And she said it was unbelievable. She said everybody in the class, every child in the class was somehow related.
Yes.
I mean, it was extraordinary. It's like they've got nothing else to do when it's the winter, so they all go around bonking each other. It is, and you can actually see it also. You can see it in some places in Norfolk, even today.
In Norfolk.
You can see it. You can see it in some instances. And I do remember seeing it in Portugal. I used to see children come off the school bus, and you got the trained eye. You're a teacher. You know percentages of children with difficulties that would expect to see if it was inbreeding were there to
Yeah,
see.
and it's not just the visuals, of course, it's what goes on inside the head.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And I just think it's absolute idiocy. I mean, we don't do this in our country. So why are we bending over backwards to accommodate it? That is not safe. It's not healthy. What is wrong with them?
Right, so well, since you've
Well,
mentioned,
that's a good start.
let's give you a better start because
Oh,
I'm
Lordy.
across something very unusual. A leaflet has been sent to me from NAMP. Yes, you've not, neither had I. NAMP stands for National Association of Muslim Police.
Oh,
Yeah, they've got an association.
we've got that in England, have we?
Indeed, we have. And their strapline, of course, at the head of every page is supporting diversity. So this is another organisation within the police force. And the leaflet focuses on asking questions to make it very comfortable from the Islamic, the Muslim point of view to get a job with the police. Number one, can I wear my hijab? And of course, the answer is yes. Why not? Well, there is a disadvantage of that when you're in the front line, madame, wearing your hijab. Just look at that brute that's about to break through the cordon. He's going to grab you that hijab and strangle you quicker than you could think. But equality, diversity, you can wear your hijab. Number two, can I go to Friday prayers? Well, we will alter shifts so that we can accommodate you. Hang
Right.
on, think about that. That means somebody else who maybe doesn't want to work on a Friday has to because you're not prepared to. So
So
you
how
can,
does that stand then, thinking on a Christian point of view? How does that stand if you want to go to church every Sunday?
well, let's go back to Chariots of Fire. But if you remember the
I
storyline,
do, yeah.
and he wouldn't run on a Saturday,
That's
Sunday.
right. That's right. Yeah.
But those were different times.
Well, they were different times. I don't know whether still, if you can, but you used to be able to have time off on Good Friday to go to church.
Oh golly, I've not heard that for many
Oh,
years.
yes. Yeah.
Don't forget our brethren, the Plymouth Brethren,
Oh, God.
have got their oddities, bless them, lovely
Oh, and
people.
some.
But don't try and eat an ice cream or your children on Sundays.
Well, you're not allowed to eat with each other, are you? Because my friend was a Plymouth Brethren and they had to eat in a separate room.
Yeah, it depends how extreme, inverted commas, you want to get. But anyway, okay, that's it. We'll accommodate you. We, when we ran the regional television station down here in southern Spain, got Islamic Muslims within our organization. And they said, well, we pray 5 times a day. Now, that's very difficult in a television situation.
Yeah.
And one day there was breaking news, and everybody's got to literally run to the newsroom. And it's a very dark corridor. It fits in with the studio work. And suddenly everybody was running and falling over like Beecher's Brook. And one looks round, and friend was giving it what they do 5 times a day, and everybody finished up in a heap. Now, there are certain situations that do not work, and policing is probably in that, but never mind. We can arrange it. I'll give you the next one, number three. Can I pray at work? Well, we can make time available for you. Yes. Well, there again, you've got the same thing. Somebody else has got to give up their shift or whatever. And the reorganization in a police force, which is very fluid, is not easy, but okay, they're prepared to do it. Number four, can I observe Ramadan?
I
Now,
was just going to actually say that. What about Ramadan?
it's a month. And of course, big fasting, not
Yeah,
eating
yeah, 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 yeah.
dawn till dusk. The answer given was yes, we can work with shifts as usual, and we can look after you if you need a rest during the day because of the fasting, of course. Now, that's a month odd. I say odd, you've got to eat at the end of it when everybody rejoices. You've got another problem to overcome then. Number five, lastly in this section, what support is there for discrimination? Well, we all know big companies, and in this case, the police force, have got everything lined up so that if you dare look the wrong way, then you're going to be had. So that's where we are. And of course, it reverts back to the recruitment of Muslims into our army. And to get them there that desperate, they show a guy before he goes into battle on the edge of a cliff with the enemy on the other edge of the other cliff. And he's praying on a prayer mat, and everybody's having to wait until he finishes his prayers. Is that absurd, or is it just me?
Well, I think it's absurd. I mean, I'm trying to think what Muslim people do in schools. I've been to schools with Muslim teachers. I don't see them getting their prayer mats out 4 times a day.
This has been pushed by the Muslim Council of Great Britain. Surprise, surprise.
But yeah, but I don't see, I work in schools where there are a lot of Muslim children and Muslim teachers, but where I've gone there, there's prayers. They do the prayers in the morning, they do the prayers at lunchtime and again in the afternoon, but that's collectively as a school. But when you've got Muslims and that would be like a Muslim school, right? But when you've got schools, like I was in yesterday, there wasn't any Muslim teachers there, but sometimes there are a couple of Muslim teachers. I don't see, the whole of the school curriculum doesn't stop because they need to pray. They
No,
carry on teaching.
no. Well, it depends on the area. You might, I say, live in a rather posh area, and you've not got the concentration nor the severity.
Well, you have 10 miles away in Bedford.
Well,
We are,
Bedford,
I mean,
yes.
Bedford is a very strange place. You've got these little pockets of little, typically English villages, but within 10 miles, you almost need a passport to get into some towns.
I can imagine. Well, look, you have a problem with those that take, as with all religions, things to extremes.
Yeah, 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 the
And it's so
fundamentalists.
easily done with Islam.
Yeah, 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 the fundamentalists, absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt, without a
But
doubt.
okay, that's food for thought. And we're going to more food for thought with Morgan McSweeney.
Oh, God.
Now, this broke about a week ago. It's been
Yes.
developing and it's been put on hold because of the conferences.
Oh, yes, I thought it had gone quiet. So it's because of the conference, is it? Right, okay.
Another long grass thing. Now, Labour have, as other parties, been guilty of coming against various committees that are there set up by Parliament to show even-handedness. And you cannot get funding of this magnitude without going through the hoop. Labour were found guilty. £20,000 they had to pay a couple of years ago. But we're talking £740,000 now. I mean, we're talking big, big money. And it put it down, said the insiders, to a clerical error. What is that about?
Unbelievable. I mean, I hope they do really investigate it and it hasn't just been put on the back burner for eternity,
Yes, it's.
in the fact that, well, it'll go away now because we got the conference. Um,
Don't think it will go away. This, let's see.
no, I think there'll be other people to play in this that will make sure it doesn't. Because it has to come out. It has to be. You can't have all this going on. It's just nonsense.
It is,
I do think,
and the skeletons coming out the cupboard are magnificent.
oh, they are.
Handleston
They
to
are.
Angela. We've got so many, and this is another one that will come out the cupboard. And now I hear later today it's going to be confirmed, but people are deciding they want Angela back.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that on
Yeah,
the Labour conference today.
yeah,
Oh,
she's a
and
real
West
asset.
Streeting. We want you back, Angela. No, we don't.
No, West Streeting is a good presenter, and he comes over, can I say, as very right-wing Labour. No, he's not. He
No, he's not.
supports.
I think we were saying before we went on air that having seen him make this scathing attack against Nigel Farage, it doesn't matter what your politics are. You should be able to politely and professionally agree to disagree. And he stood up there like a child throwing his dolly out the pram, calling him, what's that, a snake con artist. Outrageous. You do not do that. He is playing, stupid little boy. He's playing into the public's hands because I don't think the general public like this sort of attack. They don't like it. The Labour conference is there for the Labour conference. There isn't one person yet that hasn't slagged off Nigel Farage, which shows how frightened they are
They
that
are
he is
indeed.
he is gonna come through. Oh, he's only got 5 MPs at the moment. I mean, you don't, it is absolutely rank, unprofessional, outrageous, and childish. He's done it before. When he's been put, he doesn't know how to argue or debate. Before, I've seen him on different testy interviews, shall we say, and he gets defensive. He's a child. He's a
Yes.
child.
And the other thing that's come out throughout the conference is, of course, the dreaded phrase, and I keep mentioning it because Labour do 14 years of misrule.
Sick of it.
And,
Sick
and
of
they're
it.
still saying it.
I
What
mean, I think people are, I think some of the presenters now are actually saying, yeah, we've heard that chestnut. But yeah,
Yeah,
you don't need to hear
exactly.
that one again.
And one did the other day and came out with a lovely retort. The politician was saying, "Oh, it's we've had 14 years of terrible rule by the Tories, and look where we are now." Well, he said, "You've done it in 14 months, so congratulations." Imagine what it's going
I
to be.
don't know. I do think people have had enough of that same old chestnut going round. I really do. It's just, but you know what I sometimes think, are they actually living on a different planet? I mean, how removed can they be from reality when they say,
Apparently, it's called brainwashing.
I mean, they are brainwashed, clearly. I mean, there's Shabana Mahmood yesterday, and I thought, is it me, or have I not done the sums right? She says, right, so this is what she didn't talk about the boats, she talks about the people that are like claiming the benefit to stay here. So you can now, we've got these new rules, you can now stay. If in 5 years you have a job, you're paying into the national insurance, you've done some volunteering, you can speak English to a high standard, and you don't have a criminal record, you can stay and you'll have the right to stay. However, if you haven't done that, you get to stay for 10 years. What?
Well,
What?
it's like the one in, one out. It's completely unworkable. Who's going to police this?
That's
We have
exactly
no
right.
survey
And I
going
mean,
to look at this.
it's bonkers. I mean, why would you, if you haven't learned English in that 5 years, if you haven't worked, paid into national insurance, done volunteering, da di da di da, well, you want them to go back, don't you? You don't want to give them another 10 years of our benefit system. How does that work? I don't get it.
No, well, nobody does because it's just not reasonable. It just does not make sense.
It doesn't,
But
I sat last night thinking, have I understood this right? Or no, let me listen to it again. No.
but it's part of the brainwashing. The gaslighting. Call it what you will. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
But
And
there are
don't
people
you
that
have to use,
there are people that just believe that and they won't even think it through.
oh, as we speak, our friend Starmer is addressing.
Oh, joy.
Don't turn off, folks. Watch us instead. You get more sense. Here we are, and we're saying what will happen. And part of his speech will be waving the flag. Waving the flag of inclusion is the phrase. I mean, it's the same Tommy rot all the way through. Yeah, well, we've seen what York Council have done
Oh,
days ago. They've decided to spend £250,000 taking St George's flag and the Union flag down.
and I,
Why is it always the Labour councils? Because they don't want us to be proud as a nation. It doesn't play with their agenda.
oh, but have you seen some of the MPs this morning being interviewed? They're there with their Union Jacks.
Well, GB News are a bit naughty taking all those Union Jacks in and saying, will you waive this? Now, to be fair, lots of them did. What else could they do?
I can't wait to speak to my son when he comes back. I have to say, I haven't heard from him yet. I said, how's it going?
Oh, yeah. I
But I
think
mean, yeah, we've got, I mean, I know he's on, our wonderful leader. I know he's on now. But, what a load of balderdash he'll come out with. They don't, I just don't get And none of them, when they go on about VAT, oh, our manifesto stands. None of them actually say we are not, or this is what we are doing. They're all saying, which is highly suspicious, isn't it? I always think when politicians all say the same thing, there's a story coming behind it. So they're going, yes, yes, well, it stands. Our referendum stand, our what's it called? It manifesto stands. Stands for what?
But for nothing, they've done all the U-turns they can. Why they don't do the ultimate U-turn and say, "Oh, let's be honest with you, we'll put income tax up for a 1 penny in the pound."
Well, I think it's understandable that if you want services to get back up and running again, then I do think it's you are going to have to pay more. You can't just magic it out.
Well, unless you do what certain football clubs have done, Man U, and Jim Radcliffe there has got in and say, "We just can't afford you. Therefore, sorry, you're off the payroll." Civil servants have increased by nearly 43% in the
I
last
thought they were
3
going to pull
years.
back on the civil service.
There's exactly. Now
Did they not say they
that'll
were going to
pay
cut out,
for
they were
so
going to cut out a lot of the dead wood?
much.
And did you see the councils as well? They're saying to these councillors who have worked almost as volunteers are going to be now given these fat pensions. I mean, it's absolutely awful. It really is awful. But some of I mean, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Tom Howard. Why don't you just accept the country is an absolute mess?
It's a basket case, and you've just got to look how many pay rises the public sector have been given.
Yeah.
And you've just got to look beyond that because you look at their pension benefits, they're all golden. And if you look at the accounts of every civil service department, every council in the whole country, about half of the expenditure is not on the police, tiny proportion. It's not on libraries, it's not on services, it is on pensions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely right.
nobody else gets a pension like they do.
Absolutely. Hang on. Let me just tell you this. This has just come in on breaking news. Keir Starmer says Nigel Farage hates Britain as he boasts of pride in the Union flag.
You don't. Yes, I've just had my lunch. You don't need to even comment on that.
I mean,
People, people
how?
suss him.
It's laughable. It really is laughable. It's a good comic act, actually, if you think about it. I mean,
Well,
it's
I,
either that or you sit here getting totally depressed.
yes. Well, I'll depress you now. 4.67 billion are tied up in pension funds that for payment out in the future, just for civil servants. Never mind everybody else that's a civil servant, public servant in the public service. So it's 10 times more than most of the people are getting, actually, if you analyse it. Jobs are being arranged for family members, would you believe, to get over here from India. Now we're going on to the migration bit now, and immigration illegal because the documents, we've covered this last week, are being forged in India, and they're coming out and getting paid the princely sum of £1 an hour for working in the United Kingdom, various jobs. Now, who has got hold of the employer and said, "You're breaking the law, they're not receiving minimum wage"? They don't bother with things like that. And good British folk are not getting jobs. I know most of them are sat on their couch watching Netflix, but there are numbers that could be there of our own and not imported. £1 an hour when the minimum wage is 11 times more than that.
Slave labor, isn't it? I mean, did you see also the English, no, not the English, what am I talking about? A Labour mayor who, under the radar, faked documents and brought in 41 relatives.
Clever lad. He should.
Why haven't they got rid of him?
Exactly. Well, it's votes, isn't it?
Oh,
Votes.
because it's Labour. Absolutely right. I just said another thing that I think every day I see the news, I just go, oh my God. It's like can never remember a time like it.
No, we're in unique times.
It is unique without a doubt, and it's terribly unstable, it's disabling, and I think what I was saying to you again before we came on air when I did this training program today, and with some a trainee physiotherapists, and this beautiful, beautiful black lady, and she was, and I said, you're all going to be wonderful at your job, blah blah blah, and then I'd said something about international people and how good they are in hospitals. And, sometimes I think they're much more empathic and more caring than English white people are. Because you come here and you bring your culture with you, which is very loving towards elderly people, blah, blah, blah. And this lady, and she was so articulate, I mean, really articulate. And she said, I'm actually really worried and concerned about how when I'm on the wards, when I'm in the NHS, she's halfway through her degree, a physiotherapist degree, if I'm going to be looked at and judged by the colour of my skin. And I said, well, that's outrageous if you are, because you've come here, you're entitled to live here, you have your training here, you're going to contribute back into that hospital. And if that happens, you have to call it out. And I said, I suggest that this unrest is being caused by this constant slagging off about the migration thing with the Labour conference right now. We've had the Reform one. I'm not sure. Or Lib Dem, I think he started on it as well. And then we still got the Tory one to go. And I think if you are working in the NHS or anything like in care homes, etc., that you would feel unsettled. You would feel unsettled because if Farage is going to say, well, even if you're settled here, we can send you back. I think that is very extreme. That if you're settled and you're working here and all of that, he's still thinking of uprooting people, which I don't sort of kind of buy into that. But the one thing I have seen, dare I say, that came out of David Lammy's mouth was, which I think is good, is the extension now of legal aid. And legal aid has only ever been available for the perpetrators, and the victims have never been able to. They've lost cases because they have not been able to afford decent lawyers, or they've had to fight for themselves. So I do think that is a good thing. That is a good thing. The fact that legal aid is going to be changed to how it should be.
You're bound to get one thing right, aren't you, eventually?
It came from David Lammy. That's the point. And I keep calling him Liability Lammy. But I mean, I'm sure it wasn't his policy. I'm sure that's come on his screen to say. I don't know because he's deputy prime minister, isn't he? He's not the foreign one now. Not the foreign minister. I'm still amazed that Yvette Cooper got that job. Oh, good grief.
Yes, that's all we need. I'll tell you what we need as well. Moving on to education, so we're going downhill all the time. Well, Hate or Give is a book come from the States, and it shows really a lot of entitlement, but it's been brought in certain schools. Budmouth Academy is one of them in the South. And this is what happens when you get ultra woke teachers. It's to discuss the Black community, how it's suffering. Okay, it goes on, that's fine. But in terms of this book, apparently I've not read it, but I've had a full report on it, is horrendous. It shows drug taking almost to the point of view of congratulating it and recommending it. It shows sexual promiscuity and filth beyond bounds. This is all part of this young lady's story out of slavery in the United States.
Okay.
And it's good to discuss things like this. There are many other books that are far, I mean, goodness me, we are English, and with our English literature, and you never get a bite at a decent book.
Well, no.
Back hundreds of years, you've got to study trash. And they've even had 15-year-olds standing in front of classes discussing sexual promiscuity and drug taking because that's the thing to do now. Talk to your classmates and get all involved in this debate. It's appalling. There's got to be more control in our schools
Well, I was
against
going to
these.
say, what's the head teacher doing? What's the
Exactly.
director? What's the
Exactly.
director of education doing?
Yes.
And do the parents know? Because if it was me, I would be taking that straight to the director of education.
Yes.
I mean, parents have got to step up and really start punching their weight a bit. You know, it's not acceptable that parents are not allowed to see material that their children are studying.
I know it's
It's
unbelievable. We know
it's
the
so
best.
wrong. And
Yeah.
that's why I can understand why people are homeschooling 100%. I can see why they are, because you can't. I was talking to this school yesterday, and they've got another, excuse me, another school in Stevenage, and they've got children there from different ethnicities, and of course you have the language problem. They can't. It's very difficult to teach a class when you've got two or three people that can't speak the language. I mean, really, really, really difficult.
Absolute nightmare.
It is a nightmare, and
And
it's awful for.
everybody suffers.
Oh, they do. Absolutely. It's stressful for the teacher. It's awful for the English children that want to get on.
Yeah.
And they should actually have, I think, a preschool to teach them the English basics before they start the actual school, because it's not fair. And it's not fair on the child. I mean, it must make them feel incredibly isolated.
Yes, it does. Time for tears. I mean, we've had a lot of this with bringing up our kids in Spain. They were thrown in the
Yes.
deep end.
Yeah. Yeah.
They soon caught on. They learn the language very quickly at that age, and they learn it all in the playground
Mm.
rather than in the
Mm.
classroom. And one of the things that I remember one Spanish teacher coming in saying, "Don't panic, get them to watch cartoons. That's the best way they've got of learning the language quickly." And it sure is. It's good for adults as well. Right, we've dug up two things. One we mentioned last week about the hot mic situation when the leaders of the world, well, four of them, met in the Far East and decided, following a conversation when they left the mic open, that it would be good to be very old in the future because all we do is change your organ every time it packed up. So, in other words, if you need a new liver, kidney, heart, lung, we can give it to you. Now, they can in China, of course. We have proof of horrific stories
Oh, yeah.
of people.
Organ harvesting, absolutely. There's
Yeah,
parts of China that are literally blacked out, aren't there? And there's people,
yes.
aren't they taken off? They're taken off and put in these compounds because they're healthy, and therefore their organs will sell for good money, and they'll be
Oh,
healthy
yes.
organs. And I know when my daughter-in-law went there with her job, and she said it was clear to see that there were these blacked out areas where this was going on. And isn't it something like 250,000 a year of people that are dying through this organ harvesting?
That's a number that I cannot prove, but I know it's a number.
Yeah.
It's substantial, whatever number
Oh,
you.
it is. It is. I think it's 250,000.
There has been a development on this, which we've not got in Britain yet. The Chinese CCP have now said, cut every reference. It's already out there, but they have ways of getting it out. Kill it, basically. Kill the video showing this between Putin and Xi. That is truly shutting down on freedom of speech
Yeah.
that we've not got as far as at the moment that, but it will soon come with one or two of the things that are going through at the moment.
Yes,
United
definitely.
Kingdom.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't. Did you see that? I mean, it was shocking. This elderly lady, she was in her 70s and up north somewhere, and she was standing outside the hospital with a sign that said, "Coercive control is against the law. Talk to me if you wish to." And she was arrested for hate speech. Why is that hate speech? She was arrested and put in a cell in the police cell, and she didn't have anywhere to sit down, and she'd had her hips replaced and all of that.
Oh,
I mean, absolute. That's not hate speech. That's actually offering a service for anybody that's in coercive control. I mean, why aren't they out chasing blooming criminals? And that other guy that was taken away, I don't know if you saw that in something I sent you, in the middle of the night at 4 in the morning, door bashed in, dragged out of his bed, for some email, some text message that he put out. Why does it take four people to do that? Why do you have to do it at all when there's people trading drugs on street corners, raping people, hot shoplifting? Go and catch some criminals.
you're right. And we've been digging, as I said, about the government's catering services. This is outsourcing services that the government want to make available to us. Well, to the illegal immigrants, if you want me to be exact. And that is snack companies. Well, when they come in off a boat, we've got to give them either an instant meal or a snack. We've got to make sure their clothes have not got seawater on, or even from the outboard engine that's failed coming over, any oil or petrol on their clothes. We have to give them a full set of clothes and shoes. So we got to give quotes for this. And now they are procurement on steroids again. And we've got to the 26th of January to get a whole group of companies that will provide this at a mega cost. Now, what's the bottom line? We've found hidden away in small text. This is required for the next 2 or 3 years. Now, if that doesn't tell you, folks, that they have no intention of stopping illegal immigration,
Right.
what does?
Right. They think we're stupid. They must think we're stupid. And it's so that's what I say about the thing that Shabana Mahmood made. But you think, you do they really think that we're that stupid that we actually we believe this? They actually do think we are that stupid that we can't join up the dots. I mean, it
Yes, it
just
is your species, I know.
it's just it's awful. It really is. It's actually insulting. It really is insulting.
We'll start with Gen Z. And as we've mentioned in previous weeks, you're talking about the 5-year-old, sorry, 35-year-olds down to 18-year-olds, roughly. And we're talking about women. And there's been a brilliant survey done in the United States, and I expect it to be done here shortly with the same results. Maybe not quite, but near enough. Well, it comes out they gave them 8 favourite things that they would like to accomplish as a young married woman.
Right.
And the usual thing, house, job, etc. Number 8, the last one, having a family.
Oh, what were the previous 7 then? I
Oh,
thought
well, like houses and like cars and
you were going to say number 8, having an affair.
yeah, probably comes in at number 9 and 10. But there you go. So priority there we look at. At the same time, they asked the men the same problem. Guess which was number 1?
Having a family?
Yes.
No, I would not have thought that.
No.
I would not have thought that because most men are running for the hills if you actually suggest having a baby.
Well, yes, come on. It's only like having a tooth out, girls. Get over it. But there we are. That's how. Now, look, why I say it might not be the same. The women's lib movement, which this comes from, of course, is still on steroids in the
Oh,
United
yes. Yeah, yes, it is.
So
Yeah.
you've got to factor that in. But interesting survey. The other thing that's come out is Tylenol or Tylenol. It's this drug painkiller which everybody takes.
Hmm.
paladin sort of things. And there is a component, I think I can pronounce this, called acetaminophen. Now, this is the beast that actually works. And Trump stood up there and he said, go easy on this. We want you, and we'll print on every packet. There could possibly be, if you take this during pregnancy, there could be possibility of autism coming along in future years. Now, it came out of Harvard University, and it's got a good pedigree, but it's not got the numbers. But as a warning, he mentioned it. Now the world's come down on him, even in the United Kingdom, even from the right wingers who are saying, hang on, Donald, I don't believe what you're saying is right. Why? Because you said it as this strange.
Well, I think if you're going to come out with comments like that, you really do need, it's a bit like saying with AI, check your research, check your sources. On what basis did he say that? I mean, where did he get that information? And if it was
Well,
from Harvard, why didn't he say? But it looked like he was being Donald Trump all over again, just shooting from the hip. I would think there's more. I do agree with him about the increase in autism, and I was actually discussing that at this school I was at yesterday, and I said there are definitely more cases. But on the other side of that is we recognize it more now. We are more, we see autism and we know the difference between that. And I question ADHD. I don't think all ADHD is. I think a lot of it is trauma and PTSD. I really do. But autism is something different. But I am thinking, is it just that we're better at diagnosing it? Is it because the special needs support educationally in the UK is so bad that I now see more of it in the actual mainstream classroom? Is it that? Or is it, and this has always, always bothered me, and yet I'm not anti-vax at all. I think it's good that babies are inoculated, but I do often worry about the amount of stuff that is put in a teensy weensy baby all at one go. And I can kind of sort of agree with Trump when he says, give them the measles one, then give them the diphtheria one, then give them, but to lump it all together, I have often questioned because there are some children it does affect, there are some, and then it's too late. And I've often thought to myself, should we be giving it in one, huge dose every time, or should we be splitting it up
Well,
to go
you've
go
got
easy on?
the big baddie in the corner here, and that is Big Pharma.
Yeah,
The last thing they'll want. So
exactly. We
how
always
much do
goes
you
back to
believe
that.
from everybody?
Mm,
But I'll give you maybe a parallel here. When Ibuprofen really took off, people take that even through the skin,
mm,
stop a pain. But even through the skin, it's not if you're just taking it for a short time. But if you're taking other drugs, and let me go back to Tylenol, this component that it's got is available in many other drugs. And I think it's the combination of you using it in 2 or 3 jugs that could
mm.
produce the autism problem. Ibuprofen and drugs like that, oh, over the counter, it's safe. Well, it ain't if you've got a comorbidity problem and treating yourself for various things.
Mm,
If you get too much of this beast, it will do your kidneys in something wrong
mm.
and your liver.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of drugs have that, don't they? And also when people take these things, they don't drink enough water. They don't drink the water to get the toxins out their body. But I've said never more so than this year. And I think it's because I've come across, I mean, I think, I don't know if I said it on your program about the 4 babies. We have 8 houses here, and 4 of us, I don't know if I've said this to you, but 4 of us grandparents have all got 4 disabled babies under a year. I've said this, have I, on air before?
Not in detail. Carry
No,
on.
so I have never in my entire life, I lost four babies, I had four babies, I'm grandmother, I've been deputy head in a school, I've always been around children and babies. I have never even known anyone be born, on my watch growing up, I've never seen anyone born with cerebral palsy in any of my close connections. But us four are all friends. So there's my granddaughter who's a one next Monday, and with this lysanthropy, which is flat brain either side, so she's mentally impaired. The next door neighbour, she's got, and he's back in hospital now. Again, he's only 5 months old. And when he was 2 weeks old, he had some bruises on his skin, and it turned out to be a liver problem. He was straight taken into King's in London and a 5 hour operation when he was 2 weeks old. And his bile duct was malformed, so they had to bypass that. He's back in hospital again now because he's had a virus and the liver can't cope. They know he will have to have at some point in his life a liver transplant. It might be within this year. He's now only 4 or 5 months old. Next door to that is a baby, again, IVF, third or fourth round of IVF, born. She is now 3 months old, and she was born with her esophagus not connected to her stomach. So she also, at 2 days old, had to have a 5 hour operation, also in King's, where the other baby was. And there's another one who's got something called arrhythmia, which is means she's got, and this is worse than any of them, I think, she's got no irises, and she will, part of this is that there will be kidney infections. She might have kidney failure. She won't be able to see, definitely, because she's got no irises. And I mean, her prognosis is horrendous. And that's four of us out of eight neighbours. What are the chances? I have never, ever heard anything like it. And you think, what is going on? Is it something we're eating? Is it in the water? What is it? I've never heard of any of them. And it's tragic, absolutely tragic. Um, Somebody said to me, "Oh, when children are like this, are born to very special parents," and I said, "Well, why does it have to happen at all?
Exactly.
Why does this happen? I mean, that to me is a big unanswerable. Why are little babies born into this world so struggling? Or in years ago, would they have miscarried? Would they have been born as the I think is a lovely phrase, not a lovely thing to happen. We call them stillbirth, which I think is very harsh. In Bermuda, they call them born asleep,
Mm.
which is softer. And maybe that's what would have happened. Maybe now medicine has almost become, in some cases, almost an enemy.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I know where you're coming from. Look, we're running out of time. We always do. And we've got to rejoice in one thing, at least today. And that is the European Union have got it right at last. And again, bound to happen eventually. And have fined Amazon 2.5 billion.
Good,
Yes, absolutely.
good.
I've
About
been
time.
railing about this for years.
Absolutely.
Amazon Spain, particularly, is so culpable. You try and get anything delivered here, for a start, they use the state postal service called Correos. It's the worst organization, apart from the banks in Spain. They never deliver anything. They're lazy blighters. If you're not in, they'll throw it over somebody else's fence. Oh, yes, we deliver. They are
Excuse me.
dreadful people. And I'll be glad to see them being fined as
Oh
heavily.
no, not before time. That's been a long time
And
coming.
it's the Prime thing that is coming here. They want to sell you their television service, Prime.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get
Amazon
free
Prime.
deliverers and this, that, and the other. It's
Yeah.
con. And you try and get without it, you've got to be pretty slick on your computer.
Oh, you do. Oh yes, you do. You
It's
have to be,
like,
and Amazon Music as well. You have to be very quick to see because
yeah,
they can sort of almost sign you up for it, and you don't know you have.
they make Ryanair look like child's play. It really is that bad. But well done at the EU. You've
Yeah,
got that
no,
one right.
that is absolutely brilliant. Much deserved. So what
Right,
do they do with that then? So they fight. So that just goes into the coffers of the EU, doesn't it?
Well, you're supposed to, if you put in a claim, forget that for years. If you've got particular bad affected, if you've just been primed for 6 months or other, oh, forget it. That's how they get away with things, of course. But yeah, you've got some claim back, but whether it's worth the time and the effort, only you can say. You got some spare time, have a go. It'll teach them a lesson, if nothing else. Okay, horror story. And I'm afraid it goes on everywhere, but especially at the moment in Britain. Two disabled, wife, husband, got their own electric wheelchairs or electric scooters, some of them call these days. They can actually fold up. And they've got three rather, not five, because they go wrong quite often. So there's a bit of a backup there. And they need to get out good in every way. And then comes the local hooligans along,
Oh,
spot this. They take out the batteries, they take out the wiring, and they throw the scooter away. Now, that is cruel.
oh, it's
Literally
dreadful.
cruel.
That's dreadful. Absolutely
And
dreadful.
the locals know exactly who it is.
Mm.
But what have the police done? Put it in the shoplifting category, I expect. Now, where there are parents here,
Well, these little oiks need taking out and the bills sent to the parents, don't they?
yes,
And if they're on benefits, then they have their benefits taken away to pay for it.
that's a thought. There you go.
Well, they don't show any respect. It's the lack of respect and regard, and it starts as a little baby. And I was having this discussion in the staff room yesterday with the staff, and a child that's been brought up properly. It's the old Jesuit thing, isn't it? Give me the child before 7, and I'll show you the man. It's absolutely true. If you haven't sorted it out by the age of 7,
Enough.
and it might be an old-fashioned saying, but it is true. And that's what you're seeing. The lack of respect, lack of regard. Just because I can, I will. Awful.
Yeah. And if there's no stick at the too many carrots, not enough stick.
Mm.
And there you go.
They'll be about boot camp. I honestly do think they should do for some of these kids that are like beyond hope, if you like, that go into a secure unit or go into what do you call it, Young Offenders Institute. I actually think a year as on almost like on conscription, if you like,
Yes.
they would actually, they might come out decent citizens at the end of it.
Well, it's the only hope they've got. And I'm all for that. We've got to finish. We're going to finish on water. Does it go off? There's a question for you. Water, does it go off?
I suppose
Can
it
you
does
keep
because
it
there's
forever?
bacteria in it, isn't there?
Well, let's take where most of the water comes from. Depends where you live, actually. It's coming out of a big hole in the ground, and it's been there for thousands of years. And then they bottle it and they put our label on it saying best before 2026 or whatever. But it's been down there thousands of years. What's that about?
Right, you're right. They do, don't they? You're right. They
It's all
do.
about marketing and buying it again.
Yeah, it's true. It's true,
Right.
actually. You're right there. You definitely are right there. I mean that, but I suppose if you left a glass of water, just leave it for 2 months, I don't think it would look very palatable afterwards, would it?
No, basically, the rule of thumb is even if you leave it overnight, it's not sparkling water, it's just water, but it will still go flat.
Yeah.
And if you leave it uncovered, there are lots of flying things around that will get
Yeah.
there overnight. And let's mention the bottling before we go any further. It's worth paying for glass and not plastic. Yes, I know some modern plastic is very good and doesn't leach, but you don't know where it's been.
No,
How long's it been on that lorry? And the sun's been shining on it,
that's right.
being rotten in Spain and changing it. and leaching plastic into the aforementioned
Yes.
O2, and you can easily get algae
Oh,
for
well, absolutely.
careful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
So,
it's got all sorts of enzymes and bacteria in it, hasn't it? Although it's come through it would have come through, I suppose, some sort of cleaning plant, but even tap water will, if you leave it long enough. I mean, nothing's pure, is it?
no, with tap water, of course, don't forget it's chlorinated
True. Yeah.
and fluoridized
Yeah, fluoride,
in
yes.
certain area.
Mm-hmm.
Not in most now, thankfully, but certainly watch your water is the most important thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Covers diets, good advice. Watch the water gets. Some of the jugs that you can put filters in are not bad, but unfortunately, the type of filters in most jugs turn the water more acid, which
Oh,
is
didn't
no
know that.
good if you're an osteoporotic, if you've got osteoporosis.
Didn't know that.
Slightly alkaline water, and you can buy it, yeah, but it costs you more. But if you consider how important it is, it's minimal. You'll pay £6 for a blooming cup of coffee in Starbucks.
The price of coffee, hasn't that gone up? Goodness
Well,
me.
I've got
And
that on the
olive
list.
oil.
I
The
know.
cost of olive oil has
Oh, it's come down here
rocketed.
to nothing. We can get olive oil for £3 odd. Virgin olive oil
Yeah, no, well, no, it's up to, even in Aldi, it's up to £11 now.
for a litre. Oh no, that's you being ripped
No,
off.
less than a litre.
Oh,
Really expensive. I couldn't believe it the other day. I thought, good grief. How and why has that gone up? And you say coffee, you have a cup of coffee. What did I have the other day? I wanted a cup of tea, right? A cup of tea. I was going to the pub next door where when Roger had his dementia thing, and I thought, just have a cup of tea. That was one tea bag with a little bit of like £3.
oh.
£3.
Well, it's the overhead, the VAT. Oh, we won't get started. We've got to go.
All right then.
Next time, which will be very shortly, young lady. And I know you've got a busy week.
Oh, yes, it's just relentless. Is it ever not?
It keeps you in mischief, which is what you really like.
And marinating.
Well, whatever your proclivity is, you can do that as
I,
well.
I was pretty hacked off last night when I finished my job at 9:30 last night, thinking, "Oh, you deserve some wine," and there was only a little bit left, and I couldn't be. I really need it on tap from the pub,
Yes,
actually.
I know. Yeah, intravenously on tap. We all know. We'll see you
All
very
right then.
soon.
Have a good rest of the week.
Oh,
Let's see what's going to happen tomorrow and what Mr. Starmer has to say.
finish on a good note, don't we? We haven't this week. Take it on the chin, folks. Surely.
Bye for now.